Sector Wars, play Astro Blaster.
If you destroy my baby,
Intruder alert. The intruder must not escape.
Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight.
you will need a torpedo.
Prepare to qualify.
Oh, warrior needs food badly.
Lead on, adventurer. Your quest awaits.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Crater Raider. This was created by Bally Midway in 1984, and it might have had contributions from Marvin Glass and Associates at this point. I'm not sure, but it's a futuristic game in which you drive a futuristic tank over a planet surface and try to pick up some survivors from some sort of war that's been going on or something, and transport them back to the beginning base. And you are assaulted by enemy tanks. And here's the control panel. You have a joystick. You push it up or down to move backwards or forwards, and you have a dial to turn your tank's direction to the left or to the right. It's a very difficult control scheme to set up in emulation, but you also have triggers for shooting your double lasers, or to fire a shield which has limited energy, and you can get more energy by going into certain transport holes, and the stage is littered with them, the transport holes. Some of the transport holes will have flags, and those will give you more shield energy, and when you have no shield energy you can't use your shield. And others will have the survivors by them, and they'll all be worth points when you go through them, and they'll transport you to another hole somewhere on the stage. The stage is really wide, and it's easy to lose track of where the hostages or the survivors are, but you'll see them as little people right in front of the hole. The tanks can shoot at you. They can actually shoot at other enemy tanks, which is kind of nice. But you can look at the instructions again before you get started, after you put in a credit. But we will get started. You start here at this colored juncture there. Like I said, the controls are really hard to emulate, and I had a hell of a time doing that. There I picked up a survivor. You get the most points if you pick up all the survivors necessary and transport all of them to the base once you've collected them all, so you get the most points that way. Otherwise you don't score much in this game. And if you die while carrying a survivor, you will lose that survivor. And yeah, you have that secondary button to use your shield, and that will make you invulnerable to enemies running into you or shooting at you. You will die if you run into or get shot by an enemy. And you get an extra life at 3,000, 15,000, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, and 250,000 points. Yeah, you get a perfect of if you rescue all the survivors and bring them all to the base. You can't go further than that area there, and I just used a little bit of my shield to keep from getting killed. But you will get a perfect bonus of collecting all the survivors and bringing them to the home base without dying. at 1,000 points per stage number. But yeah, the game's stage area is so darn wide. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, the controls are really tough to emulate. What I ended up having to do was I used ESDF on my keyboard to move forward, backward, left, and right. And I used, I think, the left and down arrow keys to use my laser and my shield button. I'd never seen this in the arcades. It's okay. It really needed a little bit more to it, I think. I think that the stage is just way too wide. Aw, crap. Dang it. Grab that stupid... grab that survivor. The tanks can't destroy the survivor on their own. Now we have these weird guys in these little cages, it looks like. Those will park over the holes to prevent you from going in them. And there I lost 2 survivors. So I certainly won't get a perfect bonus at the end of this stage, no matter what happens. Like I said, they can shoot each other on accident, and you'll see them come out of the holes right by where you're at. And with the control scheme, yeah, you can back straight up. Damn it. Yeah, they'll park over those holes, those caged guys. I don't know what else to call them. The top score was like 24,000 or something. You know, if you have a decent enough control scheme, it might not be that hard to beat. Yeah, never saw this one in arcades. Never heard of it until MAME came along. But the enemies will shoot a lot more often the further you get in the game. It's just hard to find out where the last survivors are, because the game stage is so wide. Whoops, that was clumsy. And there's so many freaking holes to transport you all over the place. I don't remember where he was, that last one. But yeah, you can go to that home station in the center, that home base. Whoops. And at any time, I mean, if you've collected even just one survivor, you can park them on there for some points, but you won't end up getting the perfect bonus. Well, I'll put in my initials. Yeah, like I said, I used ESDF for controlling up and down and left and right, and then I used left arrow and down arrow for laser and shield buttons. That seemed to work the best of all the control combinations I've tried for keyboard and or joypad. But that was Crater Raider by Bally Midway in 1984. Certainly not a terrible game, but it needed a little something more. Maybe like weapon power-ups would have been nice. Maybe not so wide stage parameters. That central colored base from where you begin makes me think of the drain in Bubbles. I don't know if you ever played that game. That one's really weird. But I hope you enjoy your Martin Luther King weekend. If you have it, I've got a 3-day weekend, so I'm definitely going to enjoy it, despite the rain. Getting a lot of rain lately. But that was Crater Raider by Bally Midway in 1984. As I said, I hope you enjoy your Martin Luther King weekend. and I will catch you later in the future with another video. Stay warm and dry, everybody, and I will see you later. Have a good one, folks. Bye-bye.